breakfast. 12 minutes past 8. Good morning to you.
Stem cell transplants can be used to treat blood cancers by replacing damaged cells with healthy ones. And when our next guest was diagnosed in 2016, he was told that if he didn't find a match, he would have around 7 years to live.
So Peter is a father of 2 young boys, and one of them, 8-year-old Maxwell, has written a letter asking people to think about becoming stem cell donors to help beat his dad's cancer. They're with us. Morning both, it's lovely to see you. Alongside as well is Lisa Nugent, no relation I don't think.
No.
Head of donor recruitment at the blood cancer charity DKMS. Morning everybody, it's really lovely to see you, and I know that you set yourself a really huge target which we'll come to in a minute. So Max, just tell me, you wrote a letter, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you started a campaign about your dad. Just tell us a little bit about what... Do you want to read from the letter?
Okay.
Go on then, you read from your letter that you wrote.
My dad has myeloma, which is a blood cancer that I really don't want him to have. I really want you to help Pete, my dad, beat his blood cancer by registering to be on DKMS's stem cell donor list. If my dad doesn't find a stem cell match, he will only have 7 more years with me, and I want lots more.
Totally understand that. Brilliant. Well done. So you have started quite an extraordinary campaign. Tell us a little bit about you and how you discovered that you were ill.
Yeah, so I guess my story kicked off back in 2016. I'd just done, and you'll probably appreciate this, an Ironman triathlon in Wales. And
well done you for starters.
Yeah, well, it's as much the family putting up with my training regime as well. But got through that, and then a couple of days later found myself in the Countess of Chester Hospital with pneumonia, sepsis and Legionnaires, which wasn't expecting at all. But managed to get over that. But subsequent to that, months, were passing by and things weren't improving to the extent the doctors expected. So long story short is that I was called into my GP's office after they'd just done a CT scan, and he told me that I had something called suspected myeloma, and my reaction to that was, can I take antibiotics for it? I'd never heard of this before. But no, he then gave me the diagnosis of cancer, and then that's where subsequent conversations took us to this expedited, unfortunate lifespan of 7 years. So it was at that point we had to make a choice. We've been through the last 2 years, it was chemotherapy and treatments, and the Christie Hospital have been fantastic. But we decided, working with the guys at DKMS, to try and attack this proactively. Yeah. So we started in September last year, when I started to steady a little bit with treatment, a campaign called 10,000 Donors. And we've set up a campaign webpage called 10,000donors.com, and the key really is, first and foremost, is just to get 10,000 new registrants on the global list. And at the moment, only 2% of the UK population are on that register. But that's great because, with opportunities like this, it gives us a real chance to spread the word and get more people on there. And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no needles. It's just you can with the charity DKMS. They send you a swab pack through the post, then you send it back. And there is a cost to running that, and I know DKMS do, if they can get contributions, they can, but fundamentally, you're not donating a kidney, you've got millions of these little stem cells in your body swimming around, and if you can donate those, then, for someone in my position, you can go from having 7 years to many, many more years. Wow. So that's the key, and it's a cheek swab. It's nothing, there's nothing invasive about that. It's dead easy.
So, Lisa, why are so few people registered?
I think a lot of it is awareness. Also, if you go back probably sort of 10, 15 years, donation tended to be done by a method where the stem cells were extracted from the back of the pelvic bone. And most people think needles, big needles, yikes. But times have changed. Now that only accounts for 10% of donations. In 90% of cases, it's like giving blood. So the blood is taken from one arm, pumped through a machine. Here we go, we've got
I want to show you this, because this is Max's very informative diagram about what happens. So go on. So it's taken from one arm.
Yeah, so the blood is taken from one arm, pumped through a machine to filter out the stem cells, and then it's given back to you through the other arm. And that happens on a continuous cycle for between 4 to 6 hours. And the beauty with stem cells is they totally replenish themselves normally within about a 4-week period as well.
Absolutely amazing.
Max, that drawing is fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit, because you've got. I know because I know some of your friends. You've got lots of people to sign up for this, and actually, one of your friends has been a match, haven't they, for somebody?
Absolutely, and this is the key thing. So the 10,000 target is arbitrary. Well, once we get to 10,000, we'll stick a zero in and keep going.
Yeah.
We've already had over 5,000 people sign up in 4 months alone, and 4 confirmed matches for people, which is 4 confirmed matches, which is 4 lives impacted, immeasurably. So my friend Alex is in London right now, donating his stem cells to somebody. So he's been matched. So it goes to show it's purely a numbers game. The more people who we can get to sign up, the greater the opportunity. And then, people won't be in a position like I was, where my doctor sat me down and said, you've got this illness, it can't be cured. There is potential hope, but we don't have the stem cells there. What it should be is, you've got this, we have the technology, and we've got your match, and we've got the stem cells sitting in the little pot that Maxwell sets out there, and we're going to be able to transplant them to you within weeks. That's my aim for this campaign. It's to make them as available as aspirin.
Max, you must be very proud of your dad for all the work he's doing with this. And do people talk to you a little bit about it at school? Do you tell everybody you meet about what you're doing?
Yeah.
What do you say to them?
Well, sometimes I say, some people say to me when...
Do you know, you are doing a brilliant job, and I think even just by sitting here on this sofa this morning with your dad, you have done more than you can ever possibly imagine.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. So it's really easy. They go on the website. As you say, you just get the pack sent through the post. Yep. It does not hurt.
No.
It's a swab.
It's a swab. So we ask people if they're between the ages of 17 or 55, in general good health, they can either visit 10,000donors.com or the DKMS website, request a cheek swab kit that is sent to them at home. Takes about 5 minutes of their time.
I better get on with it then.
Yes.
From the age limit.
Let's do that.
Thank you very much, and it's lovely to see you. Thank you very much.